Hey everybody, Joy here. It is Monday, May 16, 2022. Okay, so I'm making the pants. I changed the pattern that I'm going to use for the pants. Let me show you what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this pattern. Viv has made these pants, and I have made these pants 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So I decided, and didn't I write on here? I wrote on here a heart and I put awesome. So I decided to make these pants. So I want to show you what I found. You remember the green fabric? Well, I had stuck this label on the core board that I got from markfabrics.com. I was so excited that I did, because I told you this did not feel like 100% cotton, and it's not. It is a poly rayon lightweight suiting, and it is just the loveliest fabric. If I see any more of that on sale, I am going to get some more. We'll see how these pants turn out. But that's what it is, in case you were wondering. All the others on here are cottons. Some of them have a little stretch, most of them don't. I went and I tried the green ones on this morning to make sure they still fit me, and they do. So I'm going to show you how I put a pair of pants together. Is anyone interested in that? This is New Look 6246. I don't know if it's still available, or if it isn't, you can probably find it at eBay or Etsy. What I do, somebody asked me many moons ago why I cut my fabric out right side up, because they've seen other people cut their fabric out wrong side out. I don't care if you cut your fabric wrong side out or right side out, but be sure you mark whatever it is that you decide is the wrong side. So I put a big white X on it. Now the next thing I do, I've got 4 pieces here, 2 fronts and 2 backs. And before I do anything else, I like a crease in my pants. Now some people don't. Some people think that's old-fashioned and they don't crease their pants anymore. Well, I don't want my mother running around heaven saying, good heavens, my daughter isn't putting a crease in her pants. So I'm going to put a crease in mine. Yes, my mother sewed, so beautifully. My goodness, 3 little girls, and she made 3 of everything. I added a little bit to the belly and the hip area on this. The pants I tried on this morning didn't need it, but just in case, you can't add it on unless you put it there to start with, you understand? So I'm folding this in half. The crease is in half. And from here to here, it's lining up perfectly. From here to here, it's not. So you just line it up the best you can from there up. Here's a tip. Are you ready for a joy tip? This is a joy tip. Don't touch an iron to your material until you have done a test on a scrap of your material. I like a very, very, very hot iron. I like tons of steam. So I don't want to touch this poly rayon fabric until I know how the iron is going to treat it. So in my Amazon store you will find my iron. I'm going to heat this up, put that on there. It came out just fine. It didn't shrink, it didn't do anything. This has been pre-washed. I pre-washed everything when it comes in the door. Alright, there it is. It presses great. Now what I want to know is it going to crease? So let me fold it and see if it will crease. Now you know about creasing, you have to have a clapper, right? If you're sure you're creasing it right. That did not crease very good with just the iron. Oh, it did with the clapper though. Ooh, howdy. These clappers, they are great. Look at that. Look at my crease. Yay! Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and press the crease in this, now that I know it can take it. This is either the front or the back. I'm not sure which, because I can't see the center back seam. Now, when you just do it this way, it doesn't crease very good. But if I go ahead and I clap it now, I probably, if I had to move it for any reason, I wouldn't be able to get the crease back out of it. So I don't know. I'm going to let it dry. Hot forgets, cool remembers. Do you know that tip? When you're ironing a crease in something, you're ironing a hem up. I like my hems creased. I've seen people make dresses and they don't press the hem. I don't get that. I like mine creased. Heat it up with the iron to make your crease, then wait. Wait until it cools off, because hot forgets, cool remembers. Let's see how that did. Oh, it did pretty good. See there? So my crease, this is the back. My crease is in the back, and it looks great. And my white X almost went away because of that iron, but it left a mark and I can still see it. So very good. And besides that, the crease will show me which way's the top now. Okay, so that's the back one. Let's take another piece. This is the front. Here is my white X. See the white X? That says I'm the wrong side. So we're going to press wrong sides together to get the crease. That this was the back. Does anybody know? If you know why this was the back, could you raise your hand? Yes, Elizabeth there in the back. So busy, Lizzie. It's because the back always has 3 notches in it. That's how you know. 3 notches. And if you have some folds in here, it's much easier to press them out. This is from when it was wrapped on the bolt. There's some bolt marks on it, so I'm going to press those out. While you got one piece here, once you get it into a tube, oh my gosh, it is not fun to press anymore, let me tell you. Here's some more bolt marks. Very good, very good. All right, that's looking pretty nice. So that's the back. Let me see if there's any bolts on the front. Yep, more bolt marks. I wrap them around the foam core board. I learned that the cheaper the foam core board, the better. Because the cheaper it is, the easier it is to cut. So I found out that Dollar Tree, not Dollar General and not Family Dollar, Dollar Tree sells really cheap foam core boards, $1 a piece. I get 4 boards out of 1. They're 30 inches by 20 inches. I cut them in half and in half, and then I've got 4 boards, 10 inches by 15 inches. Okay? That's how I do it. So now what am I going to do? Time to put the pant together. I realize I have 2 more to do, but I want to show you. I'm going to take a front. I'm going to take a back. Now this back might not go to that front, and it doesn't. Be sure when you're putting your pants together, be sure to look. You can't have the crotch going this way on this side and then the crotch going this way on this side. No, we can't do that. So I've got opposite front and back here, so I'm gonna press the other 2. something bad happening here. When I iron it, the chalk goes away on the back, but look what it leaves. It leaves kind of an oily thing. It leaves kind of an oily thing. And it's coming through a little bit on the front. So we better hope that that oily thing comes out, or I'm going to have to make an extremely long blouse. All right, let me tell you something else. You're going to put these right sides together. This is a back. This is a front. Make sure right sides together. Now, your crotch points should be going the same direction if you've got the right pieces. And they are. Here's the front, here's the back, 2 crotches. I have sewn 2 backs together and 2 fronts together in my sewing life. Don't do that. Your back will have 3 notches. Center back, right here, center back. Your back will have 3 notches, your front will have 2. Make sure they don't sew to each other. But they don't sew to each other here. I will pull this up on my body, if I can, when I get it sewn. And you can see how I put a pair of pants together, okay? I have a front with the crease, I have a back with the crease. I put right sides together. I'm going to sew from the crotch down to the hem. On the inside of the leg, I'm going to sew from the waist, way up here at the waist, which is a fold down waist for elastic. I'm going to sew all the way up from the waist, all the way down to the hem on the side seam, okay? You will end up sewing the 2 backs together here. You will sew the 2 fronts together here. Does that make sense? But not yet. Not the way I put them together. I'll be back. So this is obviously another day, since I'm dressed real crazy. I put on some tight pants, although they're not very tight, because I didn't want to be naked here. I wanted to show you what I do. Everything I show you in sewing or quilting is how I do it, okay? A lot of the things I learned from other people, a lot of the things I just do because they're convenient for me and they work for me, okay? So, this is the pattern we're making. We haven't changed. 6246, new look. So I want to show you when I'm putting a pair of pants together. I've already creased them, as I told you. So you can see this is now a tube. This is 1/2 of my body. And you can see the big crotch curve is very high because I have this very high to fold down to put elastic in. It's higher than the elastic requires. But I'll show you why that is later, okay? So I have sewn it from the crotch down through the hem, and I have sewn it over here on the side seam all the way from the top, waist, this is my waist, all the way down through the hem. So this is what I do. I put it right side out. Why don't I try it on inside out? Why don't I try it on inside out? Because my body is not the same on both sides. So I'm going to have a left side and a right side when I get done. One side is going to be lower. See, here's my waist. My waist is up here and down here. Can you see it's different? And I will have to adjust the pant accordingly. I go downhill like a slide, see? Yeah. So I'm putting this one leg together. Now, I'm pretty much the same on both sides. My hips are the same on both sides. My legs are the same on both sides. I'm higher in the hip on one side, okay? So what I want to do is look at it and see if it fits me in the hip, if the crotch fits good, and if it fits in the thigh, and if it's long enough, and all of those kind of things. So, this is, I don't know which side of my pant this is going to try to be. Let me see. Yeah. So when I take the front with the 2 notches and I put it up to my body, this is going to be on this side of me. It's confusing because you think, well, it's inside out, Joy. Is that still going to be right? Yes, because the wrong side is going to be against me. And this will all be turned around. So this side seam will be here. Okay? Does that make sense? So I'm going to put it right side out. I have not trimmed the seam allowance off yet. Don't trim the seam allowance off until you've done what I'm fixing to show you. If this is too tight and it pulls across your rear end or it pulls across your tummy, you've got 5/8 inch to deal with here. And if you let this out, even a 1/4 inch, that's going to give you another 1/2 inch over here on this side. If you were to take just a 1/4 inch in here, you'd have 3/8 and 3/8 and 3/8 is 6/8, and that's 3/4 of an inch. So that's why we do 5/8 inch seams and not a 1/4. Now remember, I made this pattern before, so I'm pretty sure it fits me. So here we are, double notch in the front, triple notch in the back. I'm going to put it on. Now it's going to fit a lot better when I don't have these silly burgundy pants on. But I'm going to show you. You want to make sure, pull it all the way up into your crotch, pull the center back up. A really good thing to do, and I'm going to do it, is to put an elastic around your waist. Let's do that. Put an elastic around your waist. Now it's better if you can take your shirt off and you can just take your pants off and be normal. But we're not that kind of channel. You need a triple mirror. You need a triple mirror. You need a triple mirror. You have to say it 3 times. They have a really good triple mirror that you can just hang over the back of a door. You can't do this. You can't sew and fit your clothes without a triple mirror, so be sure to get one of those. I want to show you. Now, on the pattern, the waistband is straight. It's straight. Straight across the front, straight across the back. But look on me. Look how much I'm folding over in the back. Look how much. Here's the top of the pant. Here's the bottom. Where's the bottom of that thing? Here's the bottom right here. So I'm folding it over just a little bit in the back. I need extra. I need extra in the back, extra length. Why? Because I have a sway back. In the front, look how long this is. Way down to here. I need it in the front to be much shorter. You would think I would need it in the front to be much longer because of my belly. But no, that's the way my waist is. My waist is high in the back and low in the front. This is one reason I love to do the rubber band, as my mother called them. It's one reason I love to do the rubber band waist, because then you can move, you can bend, you can sit, and you can figure out where your waist is. You can see they're long enough. Got a 1 1/4 inch hem. They fit my legs. I can bend, I can stretch, I can sit. Be sure you put that elastic on and then sit down. Sit down, sit down, sit down. If you're one of those people, and I think everybody's one of those people, when you sit down, your pants pull down in the back. At this step, when you're making your pants, sit. Sit in a chair. Does the back pull down? And I think it came completely undone. No, I only have half a pant on. I've got 2 pair of pants here. Sit in front of your mirror and do it. Fold your elastic, fold your top, arrange your waist while you're sitting. Then, when you sit in the finished pair of pants, they will fit you right. Now, I added a 1/4 inch on just here. See, I've got this bigger belly now. My belly was 1 inch, 2 inches smaller a year ago. I don't know what's going on with it, but you know, you've got to fit the shape you have. Plus, I've got this other pair of pants on underneath, and that doesn't help. I'll put these back on in a minute without those on. But I wanted to show you, this is how I do my fit. Now, if this did not fit me good, and I thought, oh, I need a little more room in the tummy, I would let out this side seam. Or I need a little more room down here at the hem, I would let out the side seam. I think the pants are actually, they're making them a little wider at the hem these days. But I like them thin. I don't know why, I just do. But I might make it a little bit. I might make it a 1/2 inch wider if I make another pair. Alright, so now that I know they fit me, I will serge the seams. I will put the other leg together. I will serge these 2 seams. I've already got my creases in, yay. I will serge the 2 seams, sew the 2 legs together. I'll sew the bowl. What you do is you put one leg inside the other leg. Right sides together, right sides together. If you don't put it together right, you won't have 3 notches and 2 notches lining up. It'll be backwards. So be sure your notches line up when you put your one leg inside the other. Then you just sew this horseshoe, this great big U shape there. You sew that together and your pants are almost done. You do the waist, put the elastic in, do the hems. You could make 3 pair of pants a day. If you get the pattern that fits you, cut them out, sew them up, cut them out, sew them up, cut them out, sew them up. Look what I found to go with these. You know, I showed you the other day how I found this color in my stash. Look what I found in my stash yesterday. I've had this forever. I bet you've all seen this. It's been one of Joann's fabrics for years and years and years. Look how it matches. So this pattern has 1 1/4 inch hems, and I know that's a fine hem because I've used that before. I've made this pant. How many times did I say I made it? 7. So I get my little whatcha-hoosie here, my little gauge, and I start at the side seams. There's a an outer, there's a side seam and a, what do you call that one? Joy, what is that inner seam called? I wonder if it could be called inner leg. The inner leg seam. Anyway, there's 2 seams. Now you can make pants with only 1 seam. Louise Cutting has a pattern like that. I never have done it because I just don't see, unless they're yoga pants. Oh gosh, yes. Oh, you can whip up yoga pants so fast. Oh my goodness sakes alive. So what I do, I want to serge this hem edge because I'm only going to do 1 fold in it. And I want to serge it. But I'm not going to serge it first. I'm not going to serge it first. I'm going to fold the hem up in it. I'm going to fold the hem up in both legs. And I'm going to press it. And I could clap it. It would be a good idea to clap it. You know, if your fabric is not 100% cotton, and this isn't, this is a twill, twill suiting. So, in the hem, you know, you want it to stay because you're going to need to see it to fold it up after a while when we come back in here. Back in here, where are you going, Joy? I have 2 sewing rooms. So I just happen to be using the serger out there and the sewing machine in here. You know, I've about decided I'm going to sell my Elissimo. Is there anybody out there that would want to buy my Elissimo? You will save, what did I pay for it, $12,000? $12,000. It has been used so little that when the repairman came here, there's this traveling repairman that Becky uses. His name is Jason, I think, but I wouldn't swear to it. He's only been here once. But he went through all my machines, all of my sewing machines. Didn't touch my serger. Said he doesn't do sergers. Said, do your serger yourself. I thought, well, how rude. Do your sergers yourself, he said. He said, you just oil. Any place there's metal to metal, just oil it. So, I said, what about my embroidery machines? I have a Solaris, and my Solaris is much, much newer. I think I got the Elissimo in 2012. And I got the Solaris like 3 years ago, 2018 or 19. Both of them, they're both here. I said, why aren't you servicing my embroidery machines? He said, neither one of them has enough hours on it to even service it. So, $12,000 machine, yeah. And I'm probably going to ask $3,000 plus freight. Oh, and I don't even want to freight it. Is there anybody that lives close enough to me that they could just come get it? I could meet you somewhere. Okay, so see how I just have it hemmed up? I am going to put the steam seam on it, but not until it's serged. I don't want to put the steam seam on and then serge the edge. I'm going to unpin it, I have to do the other leg still. I'm going to unpin it because now I've got my crease. Why? Why don't I just go serge it to start with? I don't know, maybe you guys can serge a perfectly straight line, but I can't. The guides on a serger are not as good as the ones on a sewing machine, in my humble opinion. So I put the hem in first so I know it's going to be right, and then I go serge the edge. Then if this edge is a tiny bit wavy, it isn't going to matter because my hem is already in there. So that's what I'm going to do. Fold it up, press it, serge it, put on the steam seam 2, iron it with the steam seam 2. On a woven, you don't need to do that as much as you do on a knit, but this has a little bit of stretch in it. So just in case, I'm going to press it with the steam seam, then when you go sew it, your machine just whips around it. Oh, so easy. I'll be back. You can see there that I've got kind of a roly-poly edge there. I tried to go as straight as I could, but you can see there's my hem. It's perfect, no matter how crooked I may have gone around it with my serger. What sergers do I have? I've got some Bernini's and I've got 3 Baby Lock Enlightens. I love the Enlightens. I intend to get rid of all the Bernini's. Maybe trade them in on one of those fancy new ones someday. We'll see. I'm going to go put, you saw me with 1/2 inch steam seam over there. I'm going to get the 1/4 inch and I'm going to press the 1/4 inch right here on the very edge. It'll be right on top of that serger stitching. It'll be right on top of it. Then, when I fold it down, I will press it and it will iron. And it might stay on there forever and ever just that way. Just in case you don't know what steam seam is and you've never seen it before. Steam seam is a piece of paper on top of glue, right on top of the serger stitching. So I now am going to, it's cooled off, you just press it for a second or two. You pull the paper off, see? You see the glue that's still there? So now you just fold it down. You press it with an iron and it will be glued down and it will stay there. Let me show you real quick. And I don't want to bore everybody to pieces here, but people will always say, show us how you did this and show us how you did that. If you don't want to see it, just fly right on by this part. So you see, if you didn't see, here's the tape, here's the paper. 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch on a roll, 1/4 inch, throw the paper away, pull it off. Sometimes I have so much of that in my trash can. It looks alive. So, it's called Steam Seam. Steam Seam Light. This is Steam Seam Light 2. I think it's called Steam Seam Light 2. Why does it have such a long name? I don't even know. So, to make it permanent, you must steam it. It is called Steam Seam. Steam Seam. Steam Seam. Steam Seam. Look at that. So this could just stay like this. That hem is in. It's not coming out. See, it's on. It's pressed. It's there. But I will put it on my machine and sew it. You don't have to. You could hand stitch it. You could just leave it like this. You could just leave it with glue. You know, these pants may never get washed. I have a lot of clothes. I've probably got 20 pair of pants I've made. And maybe I've worn them once. Maybe I've worn them twice. And maybe I just wore them for a couple hours to go out to dinner. Or maybe I just wore them up here. And there's no dirt up here. Nothing gets dirty up here. So, it probably won't get washed very much. But if there were pants and you did wear them, and you did have to wash them a lot, the sticky stuff may come unstuck, at least part of it. I've had that happen in the dryer. Now see there, you can see where I sewed crooked on the machine, but doesn't matter. Does not matter. See right there, you can see how my stitches were crooked. So now those are there. they're in. My pants are hemmed. My pants are actually all done, except I'll probably have to crease them again at the bottom. Ta-da! Yay! And so now what I'll do is I will crease them again on the bottom, because you just saw me press them all the way around. Well, that kind of removes the crease. And I'm going to use a pressed cloth. Do I have to? No. But I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess them up. This fabric is so nice. Horrible color for me. But as long as it's on the bottom half of me and I have a good color, let them dry, let them dry, let them cool. Hot, forgets. Cool, remembers. Hot, forgets. Cool, remembers. Somebody needs to pick up a rhyme for that so we can remember it better. Okay, let's put my press cloth. Did you see me throw away my 20-year-old press cloth in one of my videos? This one is so nice. Alrighty, let it cool, let it cool, let it cool. You have to do a dance or you'll have to go to school. So, end of green pants video, my friends. Oh, I bet you want to see them on me. Oh, I bet they want to see them on me. Do you want to see them on me? Hold on. Ta-da! Now this video's about the pants, okay? The top is not done yet. I'll do the tops in a separate video. But this one's got the side seams, the bust darts, the back waist darts, and the rest of it's just held together by pins right now, okay? But I wanted you to see the pants and how nice they fit. Do you see? See how nice they fit? Isn't it wonderful? And as crazy as my waist is, they came out just fine all around my rubber band waist. This is up here and this is down here, and it's just amazing. And knowing how well they fit me, I could put side pockets in them, but let me see, I think I need to move it down a little bit more. Yes, look, look, look. Do you hear that music? That means my chicken pot pie in the oven is done and I must go. But make some pants, my friends. Make some pants.